to the City Podcast. Unadulterated, non-politically correct, unfiltered, real talk. The city from the inside out. With your hosts, Chad Cranston and Steve Mealing.
All right, welcome to the City Podcast this week.
This is Chad Cranston.
I'm Steve Mealing. We're doing something different this week. We're doing a round square table.
Yeah.
This is more or less Chad's wheelhouse. Yeah. So I'll just chirp in when I can. We're all going to try to pronunciate our words because we're sharing two mics with 1, 2, 3, 5 people.
The mic check's coming in pretty nice, actually.
It's coming in hot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put some names to faces.
Okay,
voices.
so we're going to do a roundtable talk, and I guess we'll start to the left. My man, he's never in the fucking country.
How are my levels?
You guys are never in the country, actually.
No one is.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Speak right into it, buddy.
Yeah.
I am so blind. That was pretty
sweet. Should I move forward or should I
into
actually
it.
lean into it? Hey guys, what's up? This is Tristan Banning. What else? Oh yeah, you can find me on the internets at Tristan Banning on social things.
Plugging himself.
I know, right? I don't know what this is. Yeah. Also check out Sidewalk Hustle and on everything in life. And I'm Tristan.
I'm supposed to follow up.
You know how to follow up with it?
I'm Sasha Exeter, and I'm a lifestyle blogger at Sasha.
You gotta speak up a little bit, Sasha.
Do you want me to yell?
Yeah. Own it.
Levels are good.
100%.
Levels are hot.
All right.
Oh, that's you now.
Okay. I'm Jonathan Cavaliere, and I write the men's fashion and lifestyle blog, Mr. Cavaliere.
And so everybody, thanks for coming out. Everybody on the tip too. Thanks for all your DMs and all that kind of stuff and recommendations of who you wanted to talk, who you wanted us to talk to, and emails. You know the emails at Cranston at tchadcordy.com is my other one. Sorry.
I don't know.
I didn't mean to shamelessly plug that, but it's C Cranston at the City Podcast and S Mealing at the City Podcast.ca as well. At the City Podcast is our social media handle. So guys, again, thanks for coming into our house here. Where should we start? I'm going to kick it off.
I think that's on you, man.
I'm going to kick it off right off the bat and ask you guys a question when it comes down to, because we got into a conversation last night with Jackie Childs, who's on she's on a total different level of what she does as a social media influencer, but you guys are more into the loop of what's happening inside of Toronto. And there's only a group of people or a handful of people that are actually real influencers. So I don't know whoever wants to start off and kick it, but like my question to you guys when it comes down to influencing social media, what is your portrayal?
What is an influencer?
What is an influencer?
Why don't we just fucking start with that?
I was actually going to say, let's pretend I'll be the outsider guy that's the listener, more or less. I'm not an idiot, per se. So what is a social influencer?
Question.
Okay, so that's the first question.
Everyone's stumped on that.
And you led me into that
Be
question.
frank. Be frank, guys. Like, it doesn't...
Because everyone thinks that they're an influencer now, and
Well, how about the guy that goes around and tells everybody he's a social media influencer, posts up everything, buys a bunch of likes, buys a bunch of this and that, dresses in the dope gear, hype beasts himself out through Kijiji. He has no pull. No, I'm being serious because there's a lot of these.
But are they influencing any purchase decisions?
The whole thing
at the
is,
end of the
I
day?
think they're just posers. So we got to call people for what they are. You know what I mean? So these guys in the room are people who have an impact. Mm-hmm. That's why you guys are here. And I think it's kind of just more or less flex. I guess is the best way to describe it. Don't be afraid to say how it is.
Flexing?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll start off with you, mister.
Yeah.
Mr. Sidewalk Hustle.
Oh, hey. I think, having phones, smartphones, and everything, nowadays everyone has the ability to see what everyone else is doing. We're gratified and we get our self-worth from like seeing what other people are doing and trying to stack up against it. Nothing's really changed. I grew up listening to hip hop in the 90s and, I loved Jay-Z and Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep. And when they were like, we're wearing Timbs, you would wear Timbs. So, they were influencers and they used whatever medium they had available, which was literally music. And nowadays, it's the same thing. It's different. And so everybody wants to like let people know that. And I think that everyone in some way has some influence. I think the reason the 3 of us are here, 5 of us are here, is that for some bizarre reason, and I actually can see why these 2 guys, the people follow them, but like people seem to give a fuck what we like do and talk about. And I think that for the most part, it comes from a genuine spot where like we're just living our lives and we happen to be lucky enough that people seem to care.
What was your balance? You, Sasha, Exeter.
What do you mean?
What was your balance? Like, you came from, what was your roots, and then you balanced it out with the athletics. You were doing a lot of stuff before, but now you really got into
I went
like
back
not a niche, but
to who I really was. So when I started my site, I made the mistake of doing what I thought I should be doing and what the trend was, right? Mm-hmm. And I was floating along and I was doing okay, but the more I opened up about who I was and the shit that I went through, like my health condition and being hospitalized, and how I overcame these health challenges through diet and exercise, people really honed in on that. And they're like, well, like, I don't want to see your fucking style post. Like, how did you get off your medication? And how did you do this? And what are you eating every day? And how are you working out? So I started to open up and share that. And it just worked because it was very organic. It was who I was at the core, and I wasn't trying to be somebody that I wasn't. Right. Also, at the time, this was like, kind of did like a rebrand 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and there wasn't a lot of females doing fitness. And now I feel that because they saw it work for me, now I've become a template for a bunch of other women in the city. So. Now,
do you guys think that, we're going to get Jonathan as well too, but do you guys think that, I have a question I've always wanted to ask somebody that's an influencer in athletics, that you see a lot of people, trainers doing their thing, and a lot of girls posting up on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and everything else, and they're not really doing the right thing, but they're getting a lot of likes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's a line that we have to grasp on, because if you're doing your squats wrong and you're influencing somebody to do the squats like you can end up with a broken back.
And that happens because the general population isn't informed. It's like these trainers that are acting like they're trainers and they're not trainers, and they know nothing about the industry, and it really pisses people off. And personally, if I'm looking to hire a trainer, I'm not hiring a fat trainer.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to be aspirational. You have to be better shape than me.
Yeah.
I have to want to look like you.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's happening, and then there's these little sugar pop classes like Pop Physique and all these spin classes that use those 1 pound weights. Like, if you're an informed consumer, you're very into fitness, or you want to get healthier, you know that's a bag of bullshit and you shouldn't be there. But most people aren't informed, so.
Right. Makes sense. So what about you, John?
I don't know. My opinion on influencers, is that the thing?
Yeah, I mean, you can go into that if you want to, or just talk about how you kicked it off, how you started off this whole. What was your interest when you first started this thing?
Well, I started working retail. That was my original interest, and I was styling guys. I worked for Le Chateau.
Le Ghetto?
Le Chateau?
Yeah, the worst place in the world.
I worked in high school.
I don't know if it's the worst. I think Stitches is probably worse than Le Chateau.
It's in the top 10.
Gene Machine.
Gene Machine was pretty bad too. I worked at Stitches. I robbed that place.
Somehow I could see you working there.
Yeah, that in the athlete's world, I robbed the shit out of it. So good. I had to rack it, man. That's good. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't care. What are they gonna do now? It's done. Sold.
It's too late now.
Sold.
You're all decked out in Tom Brand colors too.
Yeah, I wish it was Tom Brown, but it's not.
Anyway, so what were we talking about?
I wish I was that cool, but I'm not. So did that. Started the blog up in 2011 when I was studying fashion arts at Humber, and then was just trying to kind of document my style in an interesting way, and teach my friends how to dress in the process, and then it slowly grew. Won Canada's Sharpest Man in 2012, and now I'm here.
Nice. So and now you're juxtaposing yourself. You
this is the pinnacle.
Wait till you get on CBC.
Now.
Like I said, what's going on with you?
That's funny. And you're moving on to. I seen you're doing a lot of food posting and starting to make some quality drinks.
Yeah,
I tried that. I tried that drink. It's good.
Slowly starting to change up. I would say.
You're going full lifestyle then.
Yeah. Well, it's. The thing is, it's kind of like when I first started, it was like, how can I be the best version of myself, right? That was the idea. I thought fashion was a good way to kind of start. It was a good base. So that's how I kind of started. But now I'm going to lifestyle because now I'm just exploring other interests that I always had.
Mm-hmm. And now you understand that there's more money to be made outside fashion.
Well, how old were you when you started?
I was 21.
How old are you now?
25.
So you're kind of growing as a person as well. So your interests are expanding.
You're only 25.
Finer things in life are more appealing.
Oh, you guys have no clue.
I I'm older than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Let's not do this.
Black don't crack, but I'm telling you.
Let's
I'm
not
probably
do
10
this.
years your senior, I'm telling you right
No, that's cool.
don't
How
give a
about
shit.
that weather,
I'm happy,
man?
man.
Yo, but then everyone will have to answer the question. I'm not going to answer
No,
the
you don't
question.
have to. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Gotta blow his blog right now.
Yeah, that's right. Yo, guys, come on. Damn. Shit, man.
I
Serious.
Still wearing Jordans?
So you're, but fashion's working for you guys. Is
Collective.
it not? I mean, you're getting what you...
Works really well for these two.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess
For
so.
Tristan and Mr. Cavaliere, Jonathan here.
Oh, I think it works for all of us, and I think Jonathan hit it on the head. The nail on the head, is that metaphor goes? Yeah.
He was given head.
He was given, yeah. Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey, oh,
I don't
oh.
have
I didn't say that.
That's right.
I don't even have He's got the mic in front of him. I don't even have a mic.
Hey, no, but no, it's people want to know the whole story, right? Like, it's nice that Jonathan can dress real nice, and that's cool. But people who actually genuinely care also want to know like what he drinks. Maybe they would like that drink, maybe they don't. Maybe they're like, that's a stupid drink and you're stupid, or maybe they're like, yo, I want to try that. And I think that's the thing. Like for me, I don't consider myself fashion anything. Like the website, like, and at this point, you know, like we run it, we have writers who do it. I talk about fashion because for me, high fashion, any fashion, for me, it really was what it was my life. Like I said, you know, Jay-Z told us what shoes to wear. And that came through music. So for me, it always told the whole story. I wanted to know. So I think
you're a big time. When we first met, we were playing video games in a condo.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, nah, man, I'm just leaving this position. Like literally, I think that day or like that week, you're
probably.
thinking about leaving that position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you in music? Were you in music at that time?
Yeah. No. So I think. Yeah.
You were doing Sidewalk Hustle, but
I've always been doing Sidewalk Hustle on the side. For me, it was like therapy and catharsis because I had a 9-to-5 and it made me hate my life. And then after that, I realized that there was a bit of happiness here, which I think is why we all do it. And then I actually took a job that, in all honesty, was like my dream job. And, you know, eventually I did that. I did the two things in parallel. And when it came a point where Sidewalk Hustle became big enough or it's sustainable enough that I didn't have to have a full-time job anymore, you know, I started doing that full time, and that was probably when we were talking because it was on my mind.
Was Hawley always a part, or did you start this on your own? I never knew that.
Yeah, so I did start it on my own, but Hawley has always been a big part because from day one, you know, she encouraged me to do it. It actually used to be a podcast, and I talk about music and like going to shows and fashion and shit. And then I realized it's a lot of work to do a podcast, so shout out to you guys. No, it is. It's so much work. Fuck.
That's why nobody does it.
Yeah.
It's like hemorrhaging anything.
Oh my god, it's like taking a beating, and you know, I'd be like and I'd edit it out, so it took too much time. So I realized like I worked for a bank. This can get a long story. I worked for a bank. I got robbed at the bank. I didn't want to work at the bank anymore, so I changed careers. Eventually.
How did you mention that so
Yeah. No, I don't.
I got robbed. I decided I'm not going to work there.
Were you on the news with this?
No, because they don't put that stuff on the news because it encourages people to do it.
Right.
So anyway, no, we don't need to go down this road. I want to hear other people's story. I know my fucking story.
Yeah, we got to hear everybody's story.
All right, cool.
Yeah, everybody's got time.
No, so from the get-go, like it was like very cathartic. Like it was like good for my soul to like talk about things. And really what it was, I was just like, yo, I really like these Jordans and I really like that Block Party song. And it felt good for me to talk about it.
Fuck yeah.
And when I would write about those shoes that I wanted so badly, I kind of didn't want them that much anymore because in a way I felt that I had owned that experience.
Right.
And Hawley was always like, hey, you know what you should do? Write this, write about that, write about this. And I was like, I'm 100% not doing any of that. But why don't you do it? And she, you know, we met in university. She has a professional writing degree. So I was like, you literally have no excuse. And she did. And I would honestly say that most of our like anything is because of like her adding that element, that feminine quote unquote touch
Strong
or anything.
yeah.
Well, no, honestly, like I mean, not only being my partner, but whatever, but like she adds something like that women want and men, but women want to hear. Like I have no idea about women's stuff.
Also, another thing I wanted to point out, and Hawley and I had a conversation about this during a recent trip to New York. Sidewalk Hustle is one of the few existing blogs today in Canada that was successful and thrived before this whole social media boom.
Yeah.
People like us are,
For sure.
are here because we had social to propel our numbers and help market ourselves. You guys didn't have that. So how much different is the game now for you than it was in the first?
Now you are making me feel old.
No.
Damn. Back in my day.
I'm with you on that.
Back in my day,
Well,
we
you
only
could
had
talk about Tim as the
Friendster.
first,
We only had Friendster and MySpace.
So the first time I saw MySpace,
The first time I was on MySpace.
some guy named Tom.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's interesting. I remember the first time I was introduced to the idea of Twitter, and I was like, that's stupid. And then I went to this, like, seriously.
going nowhere.
Yeah, that is a failed business. And then, I don't know, I went to a talk, and someone said something that, like, rang true to me, which was like, the world's changing, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's the internet. Like, come on, social media. Like, this is, people like this for a reason. You get to engage. It's like, it's what the internet was meant to be. It's part of like a step towards like, a global conversation and such. And he said, when it comes to Twitter, and if you have a brand, and he meant Facebook and IG and anything, it's better for your brand to be on Twitter than to not, because the conversation is taking place there and you should at least be part of the conversation. Arizona has a hockey team. It might be a shitty hockey team. It is a good hockey team, but it might be a shitty hockey team, but at least they have a hockey team. So do you want to actually be in the league, or do you want to just be like complaining about it? And I was like, worst case scenario, we're the shitty hockey team in this analogy. And so just being able to, I guess, like adapt to social medias. I can't even tell you how many new social media platforms I've joined that literally went nowhere, and I still get emails like, hey guys, do you remember us? Elo, or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember Elo or whatever.
Yeah,
Vine.
Elo.
Yeah, Elo, Vine.
Oh yeah.
I don't even, what is that?
It was supposed to be.
It never even happened.
It never even happened. It was supposed to take on Facebook. And it's supposed to be like
It's supposed to be more of an arts community.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was there's a photo app called like I Am.
I'm on I Am.
Yeah, which is great if you're a photographer, because it actually, you can sell your pictures and stuff. But like, there are certain, in the end, when it's all said and done, we look and it's like, the megalith, it's Facebook and all their subsidiaries and anybody who can hang in against them, right? You have Twitter and Snapchat and
not for long though.
Well, no, and also I actually find it quite boring. Like, how can there only be Facebook and Instagram? Remember when there was something new? Like, I'm like, what is that new thing? I hope it's something sweet.
Yeah.
Like, is it YouTube? Like, these are also like no one ever thought that the iPod. I remember I used to go to shows. And in my pockets, I would have like my wallet in my back pocket, my cell phone in my back pocket, a camera in one, like a point and shoot in the other, and then like camera. Oh, and then my like Discman or whatever it was, right? And those were my pockets. I was like, I felt good when I went out. I never thought that there would be a device that all of a sudden would be like all those things in one. And now there is. And now people run their business from it. So like, that revolutionized things. It made it so that social media makes sense. I want to know what the next thing is. What's the next thing?
It's a good question. I think it's got to be virtual reality. It's got to be something, a mixture, a combination of social media and virtual reality, so now you can feel it. And you're there while something is happening. I don't even think I can think, because people ask that question.
I'm not ready for that.
No.
It's coming though. It's here.
I think
really.
it's stuff that
what
just
else?
pops
What else?
up. Like, I don't like it pops up in front of you, so you can actually
Like Minority
like a Google.
Report.
Yeah. I hope so.
interactive. Because right now everybody's so glued, like in a trance with the device.
Tech neck.
Yeah, I actually have a sore neck from it.
I do too.
And with like your
It's pretty
thumbs.
crazy. I'm not the only moron now.
No, I was in. It doesn't matter. My buddy he's a lawyer. He went to a masseuse, and the masseuse was gave him a massage, whatever. So afterwards, I was like, "How was it?" And he was like, "It's good." She actually massaged me in places that I had never been massaged before. I know this is not. No, but he was like certain points on my neck and on my hand, and he was saying that she said this is like new muscle strain that in the last like 5 years never existed, because now we're hunched over like this.
That's true.
Well, remember the BlackBerry used to be the fidget.
Yeah.
What's up with this fidget craze? These little fidget toys things. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that thing.
The square?
Yeah.
Oh, is this
Nobody.
Yeah.
It's like you remember Cream the club?
Yeah.
It had the logo. Remember the logo was like this? It's like that, except in the middle, you hold it in the middle and it spins around.
For kids that
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, how, like, could you?
So
not
they're fidgety
just
things.
sit
So
there?
it's by moment. Yeah. They're like $160 for the half decent brass ones. But
My little nephews
knockoffs.
have it on, and all they do is this.
But yeah,
Oh, they're
you
all
know how
a
you
bunch of
see
idiots,
people
Joe.
are constantly on their phones? It's like a fidgety. It's
This
like,
is so
it's just
disturbing.
thin.
Yeah,
As
it's crazy.
a mother
These
to be,
fidget
I was
toys.
really freaked out about
It should
like,
be, because it's insanity.
yeah.
There's a lot to be asked about where you're gonna go to though, because now you're about to have a child in the next 2 months,
Yeah.
Do you have a nanny?
and now the
Pardon?
doors.
Do you have a nanny already mapped out?
No, we have argued about that topic. My partner, his mom was always home, and my mom, she used to be a magazine editor and was never home. So I grew up with nannies, and
You turned out okay.
I turned out
Very
fucking
decent.
fabulous.
Yeah.
That's your argument. Right?
That was my
It's like, look,
argument.
I want her.
But we're both very lucky to work from home. And we have pretty flexible schedules, so
Nice.
we're gonna try it out. But my parents bought the penthouse in our building,
Nice.
so
Guess what?
they take possession 2 weeks before I'm due.
Sorry, Peaches.
Sorry, Peaches. Back to
Sorry, Peaches.
So there'll be some built-in help there. But yeah, things are about to change a lot work-wise for sure.
So it's gonna open a lot of doors for you as
Yeah.
well, because people are gonna come at you with all that. Fitness,
Baby
mom,
world
baby,
is
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna be a
I can't-
lot. That's gonna be a whole subgenre for
sure, for sure.
Fitness
It is.
brand,
Sure.
having a kid.
It is unbelievable.
Maximizing that, because nobody really is taking the eye on this and doing it in the city. There's a couple people that are doing it, but they're not doing it well.
Not putting the
like they're doing an
Sasha
old school
touch
kind
on
of mom, like
I think a lot of the mom bloggers are older.
Older.
They're the Gen 1s.
yeah.
Jim,
No, she's
Right?
right.
So
Yeah.
like they have 12 to 16-year-olds, and then
Yeah.
it's just like,
I don't know what to do now.
Well, those are the.
and then there's
they're
like
the reason
there's a
why
new
there are
emerging
Baby
group
Yeezys
now.
out there.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I said that whole Gen 1 is the reason why there's Baby Yeezys being released. I mean, people will spend that money on a child.
Are there baby Yeezys being released?
There are
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
I thought we might have been into it.
No, bro. I'm a Nike. You know me, Nike.
Oh no, well they're opening a Jordan store.
I know.
And the entire basement is for kids. Little Jordan
Holy
shoes.
Christ.
So
No
it
way.
is at $69.
Boom, get with the times.
little baby
No,
dress.
I don't have a kid, man. I knew the store was opening up. I'm not into Yeezys. That's all.
And what's this? I did Brian Espiritu or whatever did a bunch of art in there too.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
You're dialed in, eh?
Yeah, he's dialed
Like,
in.
I'm always dialed in. All the
Yeah.
time.
You're in it, yeah.
I live it. Wait, what's the kid say? We out here.
We out.
We out here.
We out here, fam. Jonathan, tell me something. Are you so into fashion that you're actually going to start designing some? Did you go to school for it? A, B. There could be 4 parts. Do you want to take a pen?
Yeah. Here, I'll start with that. Well, when I went to fashion school, it was for fashion business.
Okay.
So I was outside of the design world. I did it on purpose because I know how to sew, and I didn't think I ever would know how to sew. And that was the reason I went about doing that. But to be honest, now I almost regret it to a certain degree, just because I feel like that'd be a useful skill to do something with now.
Absolutely.
Whether it's designing, whether it's
Or even like you can
Illustration,
come up
some
with a
sort
brand
of-
and hire some designers and
Yeah.
guide them along the way, which pretty much is standard nowadays, right?
yeah, I guess it's not out of my brainwaves yet. Let's put it that way.
Have you thought of doing do you deal with a lot of brands yourself? Because these guys seem pretty plugged in to what's happening. And
Yeah.
as far as active, are you an ambassador for any brands? Are you associated with any brands? Like, is there a Jonathan pop-up shop coming up?
But you're giving me a lot of ideas.
Yeah. Where's that pen and paper?
Okay, well, you got your brand. So the whole idea is everybody's here because you all have your brands, right?
For sure.
So just in thinking, I was like, okay, so what's his direction with them? We know where you guys are going now. We communicated with that.
Yeah.
And with you, you're kind of sitting on the end as bookend, drinking on some vodka.
Shameless plug.
The whole reason you're here is to
Black
talk.
Cow
So let's hear
vodka.
it.
Yeah.
Thanks for balling
Right now, I'm almost trying to figure out the next step of Mr. Cavaliere. So
Like, what
it's
about
funny you
Mr.
bring that
Porter
up.
even, right?
Yeah, Mr. Porter would probably be a good
Like
comparison.
Sense does well too. They're Canadian out of
Yeah,
Montreal.
Sense, yeah.
Yeah.
They're another one.
How's
Yeah,
Marcus
just,
doing? Do you still talk to Marcus?
Marcus,
Troy?
well, to be honest, I don't really know him that well. I only know his team.
So
All right,
everyone
right.
around
Talk
talk
to
to him too
Oh, I
much.
get you. No, but when I see you always talking to the guys from Montreal,
Yeah.
so I figured you knew.
Yeah. But trying to figure out the next step of Mr. Cavaliere, right? Trying to figure out the next step of Instagram. That's another big one, right?
Is this
Yeah, they're making
conversation
moves.
going there?
Yeah, well, we
It's
can. We
going
might as
there, it
well.
has to.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's talk about it. Wake me up.
I have no clue. I'm watching.
Cares about the fucking algorithm? Like, we don't own any of that content.
Yeah.
I think people put way too much emphasis on what goes on the gram and not caring enough about content that they actually own. And as Tristan says, he is waiting patiently for that new thing. So when Instagram is gone and all these little bitty
Wash your hands
influencers
with it.
selling or promoting slim teas, what the fuck are you doing after that?
Beautiful, yeah. Yeah.
So like, you know, and at the end of the day, like, these guys, I can't remember what your following is. Your following is larger than mine. So is Hawley's. I sort of tell people all the time, I'm like, I don't really focus so much on my numbers anymore. I got caught up for a little bit, but having only 25,000 followers has still allowed me to work with amazing brands. And
It's more than me. It's more than
What do
me.
you guys pushing? So what are you pushing numbers wise on Instagram then?
No. Sorry, I interrupted that point. This actually was a good. This was a good point. Yeah. Sorry.
You can't, like, it's not a numbers game. And for any agency or brand that is focusing on working and partnering with people that have X amount of numbers, those aren't the people that you want to be working with
Should be
anyways.
quality
Yeah.
anyway. should it
Well,
not?
You need to be a storyteller. You need to have substance. People need to be learning and interested in following your journeys, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just like, I'm not immune to it. We've had this conversation before. I've kind of been like, oh, like, what the fuck's going on with my numbers and engagement? But I'm like, I just have to post what I like. I have to just be genuine, honest, organic, and tell my story and have, you know, good written content and solid photos. And if there's people at brands and agencies that are more than marginally intelligent and drink water and breathe air, they can see that and want to work with me.
For the 10% that you guys are in, a lot of the agencies don't have the infrastructure to understand that. And everybody else, what I'm seeing, just by coming from a magazine perspective, and numbers was the thing at all times, and you had to get yourself audited, whatever have you, moving into social media, that everybody's trying to keep their job at the end of the day. So they have to come up with numbers. So like while we were in Detroit, I was talking to that lad, he started to pick my brain and that kind of stuff. And he told me this story about this kid that has 94,000 followers on social media. And he got, the Bay was doing an event with him, and he's supposed to bring people in. He didn't bring one person in, and they ripped up the check. And it was a $10,000 check for one event for this kid to have do his thing at. So what you're seeing, I mean, it's relevant, but at the same token too, these companies, I don't find that they really care too much.
For sure.
You know, I mean, they do, but they don't.
What do you
You know
mean?
what I mean?
They don't care
They don't
about
care.
what?
Like, as long as they get their fucking numbers, really, the person that's the junior talking to the marketing director, talking to the VP,
Because there's no education.
or infrastructure.
The higher that they go, they're still, these older people are still holding
Still
on
trying to figure out.
the old school ways of doing things. So they're still thinking about print publications and like circulation numbers and like what's our reach?
Isn't that crazy?
Dinosaur
What's
media,
our
right?
reach?
It's
And it's like,
crazy.
okay, but the reach may be 140,000, but like how many, where is that reach anyways? So
Exactly.
if you're a Canadian company and you're engaging a Canadian influencer, but 80 to 90% of their followers are in fucking India?
Yeah.
For sure.
Or Nigeria.
What? What is the point? What is the point? And then it gets worse when there's an agency acting as the middleman because they may know the truth and they may understand the game, but they're just trying to keep that retained client.
Yeah.
And the client's just like, we want like 150,000 followers.
But where does the money come into play though? There's the impressions are there, but where does the money? At the end of the day, there's got to be a return for an investment. This is what I don't understand.
ROI.
Because where's the ROI coming into play?
But-
like I know there's some people that are producing ROI, but there's a lot of people that are not, and they still don't care as long as they get their numbers in. And like, am I wrong about this, or do they actually care about this now?
Is it flushed out?
Well, I feel like the people who are contacting us most of the time just need to be like, okay, we got this person, and this person on board. They got this amount. We should make a sale. Basically,
Yeah.
There's no better way to say it, right?
Yeah.
Well, some brands will give you tracking codes for links, right? So
Right.
you
For sure.
put that in your site so they can see what's
That's what I was
happening
just
in
actually
terms
gonna
of
say.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
click-throughs and like purchases, but then there's another group of people that are not looking for ROI and return on investment, but they're looking at it like return on ideas or return on brand and awareness.
Right.
So they're not looking for an actual sale. They just want to get people engaged and get their product and service more well known.
Yeah. There's different ways of going about it.
More interactive that way, right?
Is there still a lot of crabs in the bucket in this industry for you guys? Do you find?
What do you
people
mean?
trying to battle and talking shit.
Oh yeah, but that's everything. That's
Like
everywhere.
feistiness that really
For
went
sure.
on.
Yeah, why not? Of course. People, I mean, the thing too, to weather any storm, you have to be like a good person. All the dicks in movies, in music, the guys who were like real jerk offs, they never did well. Like I think for the most part, like at least if there's one thing, we're honest people. And we're nice people. I don't go around causing shit with people. It's your personal life. I really couldn't care less. If you're taking bread out of my mouth, like actually, literally, if I'm sitting at a table and you take it out of my mouth, then I'll be pissed off. But I don't see this as my bread. You know, like we get paid from it, and it definitely is it. But I do think, yeah, there's enough crabs in the barrel. I mean, I actually, without being smug or anything, like
Be smug.
Well, no, I
like
don't.
That when you be smug once in a while.
No, because it goes back to the Bay example you just gave, right? Like, what's the problem there? Was the kids' followers not real? Were they in Nigeria, which has a great
Definitely
music
not
scene?
real.
By the way, music scene, Nigeria, killer. But I mean, but also maybe there are people that care, but whatever they were selling at the Bay, God forbid, wasn't what they wanted. So there's also the times where it's like, I literally only ever talk about like gangster rap, let's say. This isn't true, but let's say I do that. And someone comes to me and they're like, hey, do you want to like go to the Country Music Awards? And I'm like, yes, because you got money. That shit's not going to translate, right? So like there is at times where the brands look at us, they put the number there, they do their little like, okay, this will be their potential reach, and they sell it. The same way the Toronto Star used to be like, we get 4 million readers on our paper every day. It's like, wait, how is that possible? And it's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's magic. Don't look over here, and it's fine.
Don't mind the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. So I mean,
I know the tricks.
Yeah, it's a double. Like in my previous job, I worked on the other side of it, right? Like I did do social media and digital marketing for a company, and we talked to companies would always pitch us, and just we dealt with PR and everything. And so like I do have the privilege to have seen from both sides and had to have been humbled on both sides enough to like understand that it is all part of the business. When I was a kid, and I watched like Saturday morning, I still get up early on Saturday now because it's been ingrained in me for years. I would get up and watch cartoons and eat cereal. I loved it. The way I knew about something was like I would see a commercial for it, but I wasn't like, as soon as I saw that commercial for, I don't know, the new Ninja Turtle, I didn't go and buy the new Ninja Turtle. Mom, I want a Ninja Turtle. No, we can't afford it. Mom, I want a Ninja Turtle. 6 months down the road, maybe I got that Ninja Turtle, right? There was no direct sale from that, but it got into my subconscious. All the kids would talk about it. So there are times too where I'm like, hey man, I just drove this sick ass car. It was $150,000. It's sick. The car's not even for sale right now. So in no way did me driving that car like result in a sale. Also, my audience, there might be people there who can afford a $150,000 car, and if there are, holler at me. I want to drive in that car again. But like like at the same time, like it was an awesome car. No, but like for them, the premise they said
dance is awesome too.
Oh, thank you. The premise there too, and they said it was to like open up the idea that this car is not what it was, right? And that's their approach, and they're willing to spend money on it. So it's about being like aware enough in what we do and being honest enough in what we're doing, and also making money to pay rent, right? So it's this like delicate balance. And so is there enough crabs in the bucket? For sure. Sometimes we get pissed off when someone who shouldn't be in that bucket reaching for it. And no one likes it when you butt in front of them at a buffet. Man, I waited for this. So
I hear you on that. I want to tell you guys a story. Like when we were talking about growing up. So you guys remember what Big Wheels were?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Big Wheels, Green Machines too. So I saw this commercial, the Green Machine, all right? And I lived in this cul-de-sac kind of a neighborhood. And I didn't have one at that time as a kid, and I saw this. And I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I stole all, like, everybody's Big Wheel and Green Machine, and I parked them side by side in front of my house. And I honestly thought that I wasn't doing anything wrong by doing this, because I thought maybe I had no fucking morals or was a sociopath. But,
That's it.
one of the two. But then I had parents coming to my house, and I made my sister respond to it. I hid in the clothes basket for about 6 hours. My mom ended up calling the cops because she couldn't find me, and I was in the clothes basket for 6 hours because I didn't want to get licks from this. And it all stemmed from seeing a green machine on TV. That's my fucking.
So you're a total hype beast, is what you hit.
I am.
So he'll rob you for your Jordans, is what he's saying.
You see those new fucking Prime Nets coming out? All over that. So you guys sound very professional and it seems to be a very lackadaisical, perceived as a lackadaisical kind of chill at home, plug away on your phone or on your computer environment. It's pretty. You guys are like professional, proficient, and like on top of your shit.
Okay, so for you being outside of the game, do you associate e-zines or bloggers with a negative connotation?
I don't. I was kind of making that comment generally as someone listening to it. It's like, okay, these guys, I'm listening to this and I'm going, wow, you know what? It's not just some guy sitting on his phone on the streetcar taking a picture of something, posting it up, going, or it's not just some guy taking,
Is that what they sound like?
No,
that's what I do.
I'm just like, I'm a pretty creative guy, so things just visually, these are things.
And you've also been there too, in the marketing realm of things.
Yeah,
so it's like
I know
it's
how
not like
to-
you not know what's going on because you're well.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I personally know you guys work hard, but I'm saying to the average Joe, they don't get it, and that's kind of one of the appeals of getting everybody together is to get the full perspective. The long and short of it, the running theme here is you guys just be yourself, and work hard. You know what I mean? If it comes together, it comes together. If it doesn't, then it's not going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, like, do it for the right reasons.
Well, this is kind of like the snowflake times,
What's
right? Where everybody's
happening-
a special person.
Well, and everyone wants to aspire
That's
to.
kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh well, that's cool.
Substance.
I'm 17 years old and I'm following Sidewalk Hustle and Tristan Banning's so dope and he just had this amazing experience in Ibiza and he's working with Lexus. You know what?
Oh, what about Mike Ronson?
When I grow, the Mike Ronson co-produced track.
Did you drink with him? You did, eh?
When I
he
grow
wasn't
up,
drinking.
I want to be an influencer. I want to get free things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like
sure.
that blows my mind.
Or
You've got like
shortcutting
16-year-old
change.
kids.
Like,
How many shoe reviews have you ever watched on Tristan on YouTube? Do you ever get caught up in the wormhole? Oh, what's this? Oh,
Yeah.
how many guys are like 12
Yeah.
or 15 and they got like 80,000 followers, 160,000 followers on YouTube?
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm looking at this guy going,
Yeah.
and these they're almost the dopest or whatever. I'm into the booth, and I'm just like, how the fuck, like, what? These guys all must be kids that are watching them, because if I found one of my friends watching a 12-year-old kid doing a review on a shoe, I'd have to slap him upside the head. You know what I mean?
For sure.
The kid could get all the shoes because he wears a size 5.
Yeah.
there is a following for his generation.
For sure.
That's
Totally different.
kind of what I'm getting at. So that's their mentality, is they just go, okay, I'm going to do it. They don't know any better. Just like when you're younger and you start out something and you got nothing to lose, you don't know you can lose anything. You just do it. Later on, you kind of realize, holy shit, how the fuck did I pull that one off? These kids are even dumber and younger than that. They don't know any better. They're putting in all the time. They're getting it. But they're actually...
Are they dumber though?
Hold on, that's what I'm saying. Is they're getting the followers, but I don't think they understand.
I think
really-
we keep on beating up on millennials for no reason
I
whatsoever.
don't think anyone's
man.
beating up.
Well, a
on
lot of people are.
millennials.
I think the baby boomers and the generation above us, Steve, are actually beating up on millennials a lot.
I was just
and
wondering,
it's-
have you heard me say millennial yet?
No,
I didn't hear
but
anyone here say
it's okay.
millennial yet.
But you
Maybe
said a
you in your
13-year-old. You
mind-
said a 13-year-old kid, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's
not a
kind of
millennial.
I don't even think
No,
they're
it's not.
millennials
It's not
anymore.
millennial.
That's the next
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
the
Jonathan
next
is
one.
prime in the middle of millennial.
You're a millennial.
So you-
I am not.
I'm cusp millennial. I'm like the first
makes
year
you
in.
like 33.
The first year in. Yeah. I was like, I'm old. I'm grandpa millennial. So
grandpa millennial.
yeah, I'm like the old guy.
So yeah, he's not offended. I don't think anyone here was
No, not at all.
millennials.
No. But the actual.
no, that's
the
what I'm
point
saying.
is
I'm
that
saying like a lot
people
of
think it's easy to do. They don't understand that the key word is substance, and there seems to be a lack of it. Right? Your content has substance. That's why people are following.
Yeah.
Well, I think people that are good at what they're doing, so like these guys,
Yeah.
like, they're good at what they're doing, so people just think, okay, well, it's easy. It's cool. They look like they're getting free stuff. Oh shit, they're actually getting paid to do this? But behind the scenes, they don't understand that there's
Late
like
hours.
a process, the hours that go
Yeah.
in, like building a brand, treating it like a real business, and like
For sure.
I don't know, I can't speak for these guys, but like I didn't create my blog for just to be a blog. Like I have an end game, and it's a stepstone to something else. Like my end game wasn't to get free Nike training shoes.
No.
Like, that's like so ridiculous.
It's a lot of work. You could buy them for a lot less.
Yo, I actually hate free shit because the amount you owe back from it is tough. I don't like owing people shit.
Yeah.
I was raised by a single mom. My dad, single mom. You work for everything, right? Like, you make sacrifices to make sure that, like, I don't like owing people shit is basically it. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to enter into business agreements with people and then, like, make that business agreement, like, work, or I go buy my own stuff because I don't want people calling me, sending me emails. How come you didn't post about this shoe?
Oh, here's the hashtag. Like, what? I didn't want that bar soap. I didn't
Exactly.
My favorite email.
Return to sender. RTS. Return to sender.
Yeah.
We were talking about that in Detroit as well too. Like
debating
whether to
picture
go
of you
or
in
not.
Skechers?
No, definitely not.
Did you get invited? Did you guys get invited to that Skechers?
No.
You didn't go to
no, my seat.
Skechers is one of the largest sneaker brands in America.
Yeah, for sure.
So
surprising numbers.
Yeah, they do very well for themselves.
There's a point. There's a point for them.
Yeah.
Sasha, we got some time left with you still?
No.
Mama's gotta go.
Mama's gotta go.
I have maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
So ask her the question.
So you got to plug yourself in then.
Yeah, plug yourself in.
What?
Yeah.
What should I say more than my website?
Say it again.
Your social media
Say it again.
platforms. What's in for the future for you? When's the baby due? Name of the baby? Sex of the baby?
No.
So how about this? What's your end game?
What is your end game?
Whoa.
It's a deep question.
No, I have answers, but I'm not going to divulge all of that. Why would I do that?
Well, you did say you had an end game earlier.
I did, but I don't need to take.
What is the reverse engineering process that you're going through right now?
We'll break it down as soon as you leave. We're going to break shit right.
No, this, I've had like a nice little ride with this website, and it's been fun, like telling stories, but I think I'm old and I need to find another transition, something that's a little bit more stable. Baby is due August 16th. We do not know
August 16th.
We do not know the gender.
Yeah.
So you guys will just have to stay tuned for
Let's
that
go,
reveal.
So how are we gonna find that out? What's your social media? Are you gonna post all that?
You know what?
Are you gonna do that on social media, the baby birth and that stuff? Or are you gonna just do the nice cute?
It is crazy because people. I'm trying to find a balance because I said I'm not going to be one of those people, but it's such a huge change in your life that it's hard. If you are authentic, it's hard not to keep sharing. And then now, if I post anything non-baby related, people don't care. Like they need to see my stomach. Yeah, like there's no bump there.
Yeah.
Like people
the personal stuff.
People are obsessed with the personal stories and the journey, and like when I opened up about my miscarriage, it was nuts.
Well, that's because it's honest. People don't normally do that.
Yeah, I find that the women in the influence as well kind of bond together. I find like a lot of women that I've been talking to that are in this industry itself, that are on social media platforms, the main thing that how they get all their attention is through these little stories, not little stories, but stories that they tell personal about themselves.
Yeah,
like when we were with Wifey from the store on Queen Street, man, like our numbers on YouTube jumped tremendously just by her story. And like I love that girl. You know what I mean? But her story when she opened up and spoke about like her past and her trials and tribulations, man. You know what I mean? It's
because we're starved of like realness, and we're so caught up in like all this like aesthetically beautiful photos and like nothing is real anymore. And I think that people feel that opening up and being honest and being vulnerable is like a weakness, and that they're not going to measure up, and the level of standard of quality of living and flossing and flexing is like next level right now.
Yeah.
So if people talk about real things like depression and mental health and miscarriage and not being able to conceive and being raped and this, that, and the third. So when it does happen, people are like, wow.
It's brave. I think it's very brave. I don't think a lot of guys would do it.
And you know what?
A lot of men wouldn't do that on their influence. Like they stick to what they know is men, being men, or what they do, and that's it. Like, there's a very selective few guys that I've known that ever open up about like depression or being abused and that kind of stuff, and got some type
People
of
view that
benefit.
as a weakness.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But once you open up, people are follow fashion, right? So once one person says something, it opens the floodgates. It's like when someone's abused and they're like, oh, I was abused too. I was abused too. So it just takes that one person to come clean or open up. So
Interesting. So plug yourself in. Social media
you guys
platforms.
can find me at sasha.com, and I'm probably one of the few people that use my government as my handle for social media.
Yeah.
So you can find me at Sasha Exeter.
That's your government.
Tristan Banning?
Tristan Banning, yeah.
Yeah. That's your government.
Mr.
Mr. Cavaliere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your handle, yeah.
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 So you guys are all using your governments.
Yeah. And my password is my social insurance number. So if you can figure it out.
917.
326-64. Whoa, hold on. Oh, hey.
That's awesome. Did you guys want to stick, or do you guys gotta go? Or what's it?
I got another, I'd say about 10 minutes, and then I gotta go. I gotta get to the Jordan store. So, apparently
Okay, well, we
Roy
can wrap.
Woods.
We can wrap. We can-
Well, let's
we
do. Let's. I mean, we can do 10 more minutes.
You got some time? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'll get you
Sasha will get
Sasha.
ready.
Having me.
Thanks, Sasha, for coming.
Sasha will get
Sasha
ready.
Exeter is on her way out. She's taking the exit right now. It's dope. Thank you, Sasha.
Adios.
Bye, guys.
Good seeing you.
I'll see you before.
You don't want to pop it.
Rain, but it looks like maybe it did rain because then no one would be there. It'd be great. Also, we'd do mushrooms and then like hang out there. Are we not talking about that? I was a teenager.
This guy's just popping
That was
back
a long-
edibles right
that
now.
was a long
He
ass
does
time
edibles
ago.
every night before he goes to sleep.
I got edibles if you guys want edibles.
No, I'm good, man. Are we still recording?
Yeah, we
All
are.
right, cool. No.
Yeah.
It's I appreciate it. Cool. Yeah.
Steve, where are you going?
I'm listening from here.
Okay, cool.
He's engaging from a.
So I mean,
across the room.
we can engage in other types of conversation if you want. All this stuff can be edited because it will be edited.
Yeah, I mean,
What's the hot
whatever.
brands right now, guys? What's the hot
What do you
brands?
think about? Okay, so my question, I gotta ask them this question between the Ultra Boosts and those new Nikes that are coming out.
The Vapor Max.
Yeah,
Horrible.
which ones? What's your choice?
Oh, me? Ultra Boosts.
Yeah.
But I made
Really,
that.
yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Who's their like?
He's all on it.
No, I.
Have you tried them? Have you tried them?
I did actually. I wear my shoes. Like I really like sneakers, and I'll wear them. And I have the new Vapor Maxes when they came out, and I wore them. And I put this on my personal social media. I tried to not say anything. Yeah, on my
Yeah.
So on my personal,
Yeah.
I basically I have a really good picture of them because they look fly.
Yeah.
And I walked about not far, but like I walked to run an errand, and I came back, and it was like 6 kilometers the whole thing. Or like 3 miles, I guess. And when I came back, my knee was killing me. Just there was not enough ankle
for the
support
Nikes?
from the Nikes.
They're
wow.
too squishy.
They're
That's
too-
what I was going to jump in and say. The heel is like this. You can twist your ankle.
exactly. So it, I didn't appreciate that, and I don't like that in what would be considered a performance shoe. And then at the same time, I'll wear most of my shoes, and I'll bear through like. Whatever hurts. Like one of the most comfortable shoes for me all time is Air Max 1s. I also rock Air Force 1s a lot. Those are again very comfortable. But the Ultra Boosts are probably the most comfortable shoe that's come out. Like the new silhouette, they've done a great job. It's very comfortable, especially the uncaged.
Yeah.
There's something about that too.
Get that squished down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dope. So what do you think about question? I don't know if you want to answer this question because in fashion, it's becoming super erogenous with men, and I'm seeing. I know we're both seeing it on in trends coming up, and now those little onesies that everybody's. Are they onesies?
Yeah.
What are those things called again?
Yeah,
the tootsies, or what are the things called?
again? What's the
Rompers.
Rompers. Would you wear
But it's a
romper?
one-
Would you wear romper?
the romp hymns?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you wear romper?
I don't know. Like I like the idea of it in
you
sort of
roll
like
them
a
up,
mechanic,
like your knee, maybe.
classic Levi's denim sort of way.
Let me excess.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like the mechanic suit, like zip up,
Okay.
full denim, that type of thing. I like the idea of that.
You'd wear it out in public?
I'm not sure. Like I haven't put it on myself yet. I haven't made that opinion. But I'm not against it. But recently it's been the hot topic. Everyone's been talking about it.
Maybe
What's
coming
the
from a
brands that
different.
maybe majorly you support, John? Clothing wise, do you have anything
I'm kind of all
specific?
over the place, honestly.
Yeah, just
kind of all
pieces
over
from
the
different
place.
collections. Or?
Yeah, it's kind of it's something from here, something from there. I would say if I was to describe my style, it'd be like tailored, casually tailored for sure.
Do you do like
Laid-back
bespoke stuff yourself, or?
Not much of it, honestly.
No.
I'm pretty sample size, which is good.
Yeah, you are.
Fucker.
So, yeah, still lucky.
No shit. As soon as you hit extra large, everything's oversized now too.
So
That oversized androgynous look has got extra larges,
Yeah.
empty hangers everywhere.
yeah, that's
Really,
the
eh?
thing.
Yeah, dude, you can't find extra large in anything because that's the first thing everybody buys now.
Super large.
Yeah, because it works
Yeah.
on their silhouette, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Elongates them a little bit. Yeah, the whole style, that whole
oversized
movement kind of works for them. Which, you know. But yeah, I don't know. What would be a trend? I don't know. I don't really fully believe in trends either. Like I'm very essential. Like I wear this, I like this.
So what are your essentials at? So if I'm gonna say I'm starting up, say I lost all my clothes on a plane,
For sure.
whatever, right? Everything was packed. I'm moving. So I got to pick up my staples,
Yeah.
right? So I got a check for whatever, 50 grand or whatever. I'm gonna go out and pick up the staples.
Oh, you're getting good stuff then.
Well, of course, you have to. We're adults here.
No, I know.
Right?
I know. I'm messing around.
We want it to last. Well, that's the other thing is everything's throwaway, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's
So you
a whole
want
other
quality
conversation
clothing you
in
can at
itself.
least wear for a few years.
Yeah. I would say you need a white cotton button up. You need a blue denim Oxford shirt. You need dark blue jeans. You need a gray suit, a navy suit, just in case. It all depends on what you're doing every day. You need a navy knit tie. You need a white pocket square. You need white sneakers. You need brown dress shoes. It goes on and on, right?
What about brogues?
Yeah.
What about Chelsea? Chelsea seems to be the pretty hot boot this year.
Yeah.
Which I found pretty weird.
Yeah, everyone's into the Chelsea boot.
Because they're doing brogue
I
Chelseas
like
too,
them.
which look pretty sharp actually.
Oh yeah, with the little wingtip design on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're good. I think they're easy to put on too. Kind of
What about
fits the whole
coats?
silhouette. What, essential coats?
Yeah.
I would
Trench?
say, yeah, you need a trench.
Standard, what, beige?
Yeah, beige trench. It all depends on what colors you have in your wardrobe too.
So we're going by your staples here, right?
Right, so I judge. So I'll go by staples, and then like what else you have, and then like a beige trench coat would be your essential.
Yeah.
But if you wear more navy than beige, don't wear beige.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gray.
If you're pale white, don't wear beige. Right. So it's that kind of thing. But
So
yeah.
it's kind of like getting a haircut. Get a cut to suit you, right?
Yeah, you gotta kind of work with what works with you. Like for me, I have blue eyes, so I wear a lot of blue just to kind of bring that out because I think it looks better on me overall.
Yeah.
Right? It's small and superficial, but it works.
Do you dip into streetwear at all? Which is, well, nowadays it's called streetwear is totally different from streetwear.
That's the thing, right? It's an interesting conversation there. Like I'm not always tailored and not always dressed up, but I would
Well,
say
some of the streetwear is pretty tailored. Like I wear Stone
Yeah.
Island, and Stone Island is very tailored.
for sure.
That's
For
why
sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
Being a bigger guy, you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I was at the Bay actually today, and I was just kind of like hunting around at different things, and I feel like I've been in like a crazy printed bomber thing right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, personally. Because I feel like I have all those tailored essentials. I have that blazer, I have a vest, I have everything else, but I don't have anything that's kind of casual but still looks pretty cool and still fits my aesthetic. So
And that's kind of where it gets fun, though. If you're into
Yeah.
buying clothes, is once you have your essentials,
yeah,
that's when you can go out and spend a bit of money on something crazy. Pink's
sure.
pretty hot again this year, or salmon, whatever you want
huge.
to call it.
Yeah, huge.
But it's not part of your essentials. But you're going to pick up, you know what I mean? A pink suit. Next to you wearing a pink suit.
Oh, pink is one of my essentials.
Yeah.
I have really fly pink Jordans. I love pink. I like soft pastel colors.
Pastels are huge this year, eh? Like even in shoes.
Yeah, I always find that disappointing. I actually hate, speaking of dressing and trends, my mom always makes a joke that I've been dressing the same since she allowed me to pick out the same, my clothes, which is some of my friends have funny stories of me, at Glastonbury when we were 18, which is known for mud, rocking white Air Force Ones and cleaning them at the end of every day. So for me, jeans, a black tee, a hat, and a bomber jacket with some sneakers is my uniform. When I used to work for a bank, it wasn't. I wore bank shit. And that was fun. Bank shit. I felt it was nice. I felt like I was dressing up, right? But I also knew that as a man, I needed to dress like a man, an adult. So I had really nice stuff. I still like having an excuse to wear nicer bespoke clothing. It's less and less. And also nowadays, that side of me is for someone or an event that deserves it, versus, because like most of the time, like I want to wear what I'm comfortable in. And, as it turns out nowadays, thank goodness, fashion or whatever it is there's some really nice stuff and it's acceptable now, right? Like you can wear like it's a nice t-shirt, it's a nice tee. Those are nice jeans. Like you don't look like a schlub wearing comfortable clothes.
Casual is kind of hit a home run that way.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
It's pretty
going
interesting.
A lot super baggy now, from what I'm noticing.
Baggy? Yeah,
90s.
sure.
90s coming back.
90s, yeah.
It's coming back too. It's like a 90s bagginess with a twist of the preppiness.
Yeah,
for sure.
So it's going to be like kind of how it was in the 90s.
No,
With hip hop, I'm just saying. You were talking about Timberlands earlier. Gant shirts, polo, like they're all getting.
Yeah, they're almost trying to do like
designers in to try and spice it up. Look what happened with what's the guy Gosha.
Yeah.
Come to Garcon back then, right? And he's like, he's fucked with Fila. Yep. He fucked with Kappa. Which to me will always be like an Italian guy from Woodbridge busting out a Cavaliere. So when the whole Kappa thing got released and everyone was like, that's fire. And I'm just like, that's not fucking fire. That's some fine Italian dude fucking walking around sweating at a rave. You know what I mean? That's just...
What about the Cox motif if it came
the Cox motif. Everybody's jumped on. You know who just got reflected with his open ceremony? Did, not Benetton, but...
I read that.
What's Esprit.
Yeah.
And all those pastels are flying back off. Which is kind of crazy because that was super preppy wear. And now you got kids that are pretty street savvy, the anti-preppy, hunting all those labels down, which is kind of interesting. Which would be more your you kind of preppy, right?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would definitely say my style leans towards that. That's for sure. I don't know. I feel like that baggy '90s look has almost been mixed with like a hybrid of like loose on top, super tailored from the knee down.
Yeah,
that type of thing. Super cropped. Like that's where I think fashion's going. Honestly,
it looks good though too.
So it's comfort, but it's somewhat tailored and not clean, but it's. I can't explain. It's always hard to talk about a new look.
Or refined, almost like.
Yeah, it's
from what it was.
Yeah, comfortable but refined.
And what about shoes? What are you into for shoes wise?
I wear a lot of sneakers, honestly. I wear sneakers with suits all the time.
Full on like projects
or just like classic like Jack Purcell, Converse, and you know what I mean?
What's that guy's name again? I told you about a couple years ago. He changed his shoe company name though. The guy from Toronto.
Toronto?
Oh, not Shimoni? No.
Shoes.
Wasn't there anyone shoes
Anyways,
that I know?
Like, he's Noble. That's it.
He's got, Noble Soul.
Yeah. He's done a good job.
He's done a great job, actually.
Yeah.
He's done a good job.
I like his silhouette of his shoe, actually.
Yeah. And those new ones look great, eh?
Yeah. He's doing that hybrid too.
Yeah.
Like he's doing that full like dress shoe, sneaker ball.
And it looks dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I'm into it. Put it on Kickstarter.
And it's a Toronto dude too, right? That's bringing it full circle back.
Yeah.
So you gotta fuck off?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Or do you want to wrap her up, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Do you got any last words of wisdom for the young guy out there? How are you, 25, 26 now?
Yeah, I'm 25.
18-year-old sitting at home. He's like, I think I dress great. I get all the girls in my school. I've been to a vintage store. I know what's up.
I don't know. What would my advice be?
Yeah. In all seriousness.
In terms of fashion?
Yeah.
What would my advice be? Stick to the classics. I feel like your look's gonna change another 5 times from 18 to 25. Yeah. I know mine did.
Yep.
Stick to your classics. Add in some flavor. Don't be afraid to experiment. I know that's the complete opposite, but and you'll get it. By 25, I think this is when you kind of hone in on your style and you're pretty much down packed. You know what you're gonna wear.
And then open up a little pop-up store and you're golden, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Make it 10%, Steve.
I have 10.
Oh, if you want more, I'm just saying.
I was saying I start at 20, so it's good. No, selling me short again.
So what's your social media handles and stuff?
I'm Mr. Cavaliere across the board.
How do you spell that?
MrCavaliere.
Cavaliere.
Yep.
And Banny, you already plugged yourself. Right?
Yeah, I'm ruthless when it comes to it. Oh, for sure.
What's coming on for the future for you? Like, what's coming up this summer and fall?
What's your end game?
What's your end game? No, you know what though? That actually does keep me awake at night. Sometimes when I'm
end game?
Well, and also what's next? Like I always believe that you should never in any job be comfortable because when you become comfortable, you become complacent, and then it'll get you. So, you know, there are times where I literally am like, what is next? How will this change? Blah, blah, blah. So Endgame, I don't know, man.
You can start a tech company.
Live something, be happy,
Would
honestly.
TV be a thing for you?
I don't know. I don't
Vice,
know.
has Vice approached you yet? Ew, that open a can of... What do you mean?
No,
What do you
no.
mean?
I don't know.
There's people in Toronto that are doing it right now.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm
Fucking Danny from Academy of Lions is biking down south with a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah.
On it, you know what I mean?
That's cool. I have
That's
a
hustle, though, right?
yeah. I'm working
saying.
on something, you know, like, and the thing I'm doing, just this thing here is I'd like to see it through. This is in some ways, you know, like part of my dream. So I'd like to see where it goes, and I have high hopes. So
Is your dreams Hawley's dreams?
Yeah, our dreams are very much so. We've been together for almost 11 years. We've lived together. Thank you for almost 11 years. We've been business partners for 8 years. We live together. You know, it's probably the best and worst of it, because you know, you get to do everything with your best friend and your lover, and the worst part is you get to do everything with your best friend and your lover. So it is, you know, there's
pretty fortunate.
Absolutely, right? Like, you know, there are times where your best friend says something, you're like, man, fuck you. You know, sometimes when your lover says something, you're like, man, fuck you. And then sometimes your friend's like, you know, whatever. Your lover's like, hey, something. And you're like, yeah, well, that's fuck. So like, you know, there's a benefit to it, but it's work. So, you know, I'm very fortunate of that. But yeah, Endgame, I don't know. I guess what I seek now as I get older
question for you.
is happiness and time. You know, that's like the one thing I don't have. So having time is the one thing I seek.
What about seeing as anybody? We're talking about influencers here, right? Mm-hmm. Seems like everybody and their brother's been getting a shoe collab.
I want one of those.
Is anything like that coming down your pipes, or have you thought of anything like that? Either.
Yeah, that's all you.
Yeah, yes and no. So no, I mean, yes and no. I've dabbled in the idea of like, you know, doing our own merch and stuff and holding inventory, and it's tough. We actually just did some work with Adidas Canada. We went out to Amsterdam and we did sort of a hands-on line, not really, but through My Adidas, which is the online customization. Yeah. So they brought us in, miadidas.ca. It'll be out midsummer. And they had us in, and we basically went through silhouettes and chose colors. And they asked us, I guess, to use like our general knowledge of what's what or what we like to, you know, design some shoes. So that was cool. So obviously,
that's probably why they're on top of the game right now.
They're doing very well. Yeah, and actually, you know, like,
man,
they're
with new things rather than just reinventing the same thing over and over.
It's being consistent with it.
It's quite daring to.
Very consistent.
Oh man, and they did something that no other shoe brand has done in the last little while, which was go ahead and make new shoes, like try new things, right? So exactly, right. Some of the shoes didn't work, and I will admit, because I do interact with people in every single industry, that of all the brands, the Adidas Canada people in particular, and the Adidas people in Europe are very self-aware. And, you know, someone there, without naming names, said, well, when you spend 20 years being in the shadow of Nike, especially when it comes to lifestyle and streetwear, not soccer, they own that for the better part of forever. Globally, Adidas. I mean, the whole world, right?
Just doing a collab with them on all their soccer stuff, too.
Man.
Putting boost on their soul.
Yeah, on everything.
Sick.
So, but they
decide better.
Yeah, well, I mean, they just know that they have to work hard. So, yeah, what I would like, I mean, we're doing that. So check out My Adidas, miadidas.ca later in the year. I think it'll be /Sidewalk Hustle, and you'll see the colors I picked. One of them actually is like a hot pink, mostly pink, actually an all pink.
Teal?
And then there's one with pink and teal, and I called the all pink one the Killicam. So that one's more for the old heads on that. Yeah. But and I guess, you know, in the end, like, I really like sneakers, and I think it'd be cool to do something. But I wouldn't. That is more of a detour from, again, what I'm trying to do here. You know, which is, I guess, for what it's worth, build an empire or build a network or build something that people want to see. You know, we employ people, right? So like. I mean, selling shoes would be great as long as I make enough money to pay the people who do the work for me. So
it just seems to be a lot of that action happening, especially with influencers globally, especially with Adidas.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, you know, to see something like that hit home rather than just be Ovo and Nike. You know what I mean? What's going on? Haven Shop did one with them.
Yep.
There's got to be other stuff creeping up.
Yep. Well, I think that, again, the same thing I said when I was like, what's the end game? And, complacency, blah, blah, blah. I think we might be seeing that right now because, some brands have released some real like home runs and some have been sitting on their laurels, not doing anything. So, again, you can become cocky, right? So the fact that Adidas, for what it's worth, is willing to work with their retailers, Haven, like those are stores that sell their shoes. That's so for them to be like, hey guys, like you've done us a solid, do you want to have this? That's pretty amazing, right?
The whole concept is insane. What they're doing globally, and they're doing such a limited run that the hustle is sidelined. People are freaking out.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome we were able to get all of your crew in the house.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Talk about something interesting.
It was a task, but we got it done.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to thank you, Chad, for showing up.
Yeah, honestly,
we were all waiting. Thank you for taking the time.
I got things. I'm not the Brian Callen of the show, but
wait, you are though.
I'm not though.
You just showed up late.
Yeah, one time.
One time.
I'm using the one. I'm using the one exactly. I'm using the one on time. Dude.
Yeah, normally.
I don't break your fucking balls, bro.
Heyo. Although you were supposed to.
Hey.
Time to bust steel. I'm Steve Millen.
This is Chad Cranston, and this is the CD Podcast, and we are gone.
He's gone. We're tuning in out.
Peace.